All right, this is the second game of the doubleheader against Nottoway, and it's one I'd just assume forget. You could tell that the team was clearly affected by the 90-degree temperature. Coach did something interesting in this game. He played with the positions. It's the last game of the year. It's a team that really isn't a threat. Starting with Zach and Kaysen up front, Braun has moved with Walker to midfield. I think we have Angel, Jack, and I can't see the last person on defense. That was probably the quickest handball anyone's gotten. Okay, Kaylee. So another thing different in this game is we did 10 versus 10. So we had been doing 9 versus 9 all season, but for some reason on the hottest day of the year on a doubleheader, we did 10 versus 10. And you can see just the stuff I talked about last game. Everyone's just in one vertical line. Give Zach credit by staying at, stretching the field vertically. I assume Kaysen's up there with him. I forgot who else started on offense. I think it was Addison. So yeah, she's way out of position down here. I think she wanted to talk to Reese. Now she wants to be near Walker. Kaylee almost gets kicked in the face. Just a lot of bad technique going on. And it seems like Brianna can't help but go back and cover things defensively. A lot of that, I think, was caused by Jack coming all the way out to midfield. But I think the kids kind of start changing their positions on their own. Now, Kaysen's probably too far back. He needs to stay up. Jack's way far up, unless maybe somebody switched him on the fly. He was our central defender to start this. We've got a really bad habit of kicking the ball from the outside back to the middle, and that gets us into trouble. It should have got us in trouble there. A little weak pass by Zach. It's just everyone seemed off in this game, and we were kind of off until Walker saves everyone in the third quarter. Yeah, it seems like Braun has pulled herself out of midfield, is now sticking with the defense. Zach is reverting back to that position he played most of the year, where he would kind of play back of the throw-in a little bit and then feed people up. That number 10 defender on Nottoway, sometimes some people just have other people's numbers, and she kind of had your number, Dempsey, both the first time you played him and in this game. But other players she doesn't do so well against. Zach seems to do really well against her. And we need somebody cutting towards goal. We do. We got 2 people, so that's good. And it's Jack. He always seems to, kind of have a sense of what to do. Now, this is different. We don't have you doing these corner kicks. Zach definitely has the leg. Now, since he's a righty, it's going to naturally tend to come back out into the field of play. We need people okay. That's not a bad decision. It's tough because, if you play that off the back foot, which is the easier foot to corral that pass, Everyone's back foot's going to be their left when it's coming from that side of the field. Now, that was a tough skill to develop, to be running at full speed along the side and trying to cross it in, and he kind of almost got it there, just a matter of a couple degrees. Oh, apparently got deflected because he's doing a corner. I would aim for Reese. There's just nobody marking her at all. Absolutely perfect placement. Reese kind of, she kind of stood there and watched it a bit. But that was a perfect cross by Zach. We really got to attack the ball when it's in the air like that. Everyone has a tendency to kind of watch it. And I wonder if these kids had somewhat of a cross-training with like baseball where you're fielding fly balls where you see it going and judge the trajectory and get under it. The play there probably should have been back to Kaysen. You have your talent on the near side of the field, Kaysen and Zach. There's my tent. There's my friend that's not under the tent. Great throw-in. Don't really see like a strategy with the throw-in. All right, great cutting by Walker. He took a good angle there. That was a good shot. A little off target. And again, this is just habits. When you kick it out off the end line, the other team's getting a goal kick, you want to start setting up, defensively. And we've got everyone in that one vertical channel down the field. So if he had any sense, he would kick it to the near side where he's got people. Well. That's a good clearance by number 10. I think Zach, got a feel for Jack. He does decent off-ball runs a lot. And just, our guys aren't skilled at finding him. It's like a Rucker Park game with all the kids running on the court. Now Jack is assuming the far post roll. If Zach can hit him there, that would be good. They're so unmarked. Now don't draw him over. Yeah, he's got to kick this. The longer you take, the more they settle into a defensive position. Yeah, I think that's what he was waiting for all along. It's not really a high percentage play. He had so many options in front of the goal, and he clearly has a skill to place it there. He didn't want to do that. He kind of waited till Addison walked out to the flank. And maybe it's because, the last one he put there, people didn't finish. But again, we should be setting up, defensively. The people are chatty. There's certain people on the team, when they're playing alongside their friends, they get more chatty. Plus, again, a lot of this is on the opponent. If the opponent doesn't make you play smart, the last time he kicked it away from all of his players, kicked in the same spot this time. Yeah, and that's a situation. Addison wants to be what's called sideways on. You want to have your body sideways to the ball so you can receive it, but you're also not flat-footed. And she was caught facing backwards, and she does that a lot. And see, that's the thing, Dempsey, that was a beautiful shot, but that's the thing, Dempsey, with number 10, you have to give her a change of direction. You can't just try to outrun her. Her defense, you're playing into her strength. And what Zach did is he went forward stopped, went back, stopped, and kind of had her on skates. And then he created enough space to get an open shot. And that's a tough angle to make that shot. I didn't check to see if Zach got any love from the high five crew. And I guess no. Gets a back rub though, so that's nice. And just everyone just in that middle column there. Just it's not conducive towards good soccer. Kaysen's looking up though, so that's good. And he earned we got another handball. And again, it's close enough, and with his power and going left to right, you know, he's right to take the shot here. Yep. Perfect placement. It was a great kick. You know, maybe if he were 10 feet away or so, you know, maybe you try to play it to your guys. That'd be playing your right foot to their right foot, and that would be good. But no, he was perfect placement for him to take that shot. It was a good goal. Now, thankfully, what they did with these quarters, they shortened them up. You know, doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason to them all. You know, some of them, my video clips are 12 minutes, some are 10. Whereas all the other ones in season, they were almost exactly 15. That's a quarter. All right, this was probably the worst quarter of the season for everyone. We've got Dempsey, Walker, Kaysen. So you got too many defenders. You got 4. You got to pull it back and find your guys. Our midfield, yeah, Felix, you can't linger back like that. Midfield is basically almost everything on the screen right now. Maybe not as far up to the far left corner. So you want to kind of live in this area here. So I'm showing with a little laser pointer. So yeah, I can't even see you on the screen. You're not providing any offensive help. Now, our defense, I think the center back is supposed to be Harley, and then we're flanked by Osage and Lily. So that was bad. You never pass it backwards towards your own goal. You got to go wide. Do not cut in the middle. And you lost the ball there. That was bad. Our center back is walking, so that's not good. All right. Yeah, or Felix, you go wide. Don't cut in the, yeah, you can't cut in the middle. That guy's offsides. That should have been called. And that's what happens. We had multiple mistakes on the same play. I mean, that was a lot of mistakes. Center back way out of position. So center back is the middle defender. And this, I think, really just illuminates how great Brianna has been all year. To see when she's not there, how quickly things fall apart. So Harley had no business coming way off to midfield. Truthfully, I didn't see any of the other defenders do anything. Felix, you made multiple mistakes. You got to go outside. You know, it's nice of you to come back and cover, but you got to go outside. And then who else is midfield with you? Is that Jack and Reed? I mean, that was just many levels of bad. But as good as the front line we have is with, you know, Dempsey, Walker, and Kaysen, if we don't have anyone that can get them the ball. So that, I like that setup. You know, kicking it back to Felix. Felix waiting for the defense to get to him. And then there's number 10 giving it to Dempsey again. He's got to cut back. That was good. Oh, he's out of bounds. But Felix waiting for them to kind of pursue him, and then letting the talent kind of get upfield. So yeah, Felix, you got to be farther up. Unless somebody told you to be a fourth defender, that's what you're essentially playing, defense. center back out of position again. That was a good play by Osage, you know, to recognize that things are kind of devolving. Our midfield is just playing, well, our midfield and our defense is playing atrocious. Not sure what the call is here. But again, good, Dempsey, you're moving, you know, out to stretch the field a bit. Kind of just looks like you're going for a walk, but you guys still want to be closer to midfield. I mean, I can kind of see if you're recognizing they'll never get you the ball. But Felix, your strength isn't leg. You know, you don't have leg strength. Your strength is dribbling. Good. Keep going. There you go. You are Dempsey's brother after all. Perfect. And that's what you need to do. You need to bring the ball out. Don't try to just kick it out. You don't have the leg strength yet to do that. Now you should be setting up. So they're doing a throw-in. Felix, you're right, well, yeah, right side midfield. Typically with the defense, you want them to stay in a line. So right now, Osage and Harley are good to the line. Lily's kind of wandering about 20 feet up, and what that's doing is that's opening up the space behind her. Now, Kaysen, I think he's playing kind of the center forward or striker position. He doesn't need to be the farthest guy back. You know, see now there's no Kaysen to play this off of. Number 10 takes Dempsey's cookies again. That's all about matchups. I mean, for some reason, yeah, she just scoots it by you. She's just got your number. See, if Walker would have flicked that to the middle, that would have been good, but he's probably just happy to finally see the ball after all that nonsense. Middle, middle, middle. Good. Not accurate, but good. Try it again. Perfect. Now, it's too far, so maybe... All right, good. I'd like to see Jack dribble. He can do that. I'm sure Walker would like to have that one back. I mean, that was good. I'm glad Jack did that. He saw, you know, he had an athletic advantage to dribble around them, and he kind of gave... It was a slow pass, but that should have made it easier to kick, but, you know, that was almost an easy of a shot as you can get. Now, it looks like Kaysen has replaced Harley in defense. I don't know if he just made a superstar call or what. So, yeah, Dempsey, Felix, you don't need to be standing next to each other. I mean, you guys are just, your throwing defense makes me cringe. There's one guy there. You guys have 5 guys surrounding him, and he still gets it. Well, I guess they must have blew the whistle. Again, just lack of discipline, Dempsey. You got to stay midfield. Kaysen, I guess he's defense now. I mean, unless coach called it out, I don't know why you guys switch positions. All right. Osage has to probably stay back on this midfield line. If Kaysen's our central defender, that's where he's got to be. He's out of position. I don't know who's our central midi. Was that supposed to be Jack? I guess I can't argue with that. Ooh, you got to control that in the air. Terrible first touch. All right, good. And you see what their defender is, green shorts? Just awful positioning by him to stand by the goalie. That makes it so our guys will never be called off sides by him hiding back there. And just, yeah, a lot of this is from lack of spacing. Dempsey turns and Jack's in front of him. Okay. Good. Give it back to him. Well, inaccurate pass. All right, so the play here, and look at Osage swinging wide, and that's good. If he hits Osage now, what's he? Okay. That's just bad. Bad, bad, bad. More bad. Go wide. And just poor fundamentals there. Gave up another goal. And some of it is people being unfamiliar with their positions, which this is a good game, I guess, as good as any to practice them. But just a lot of mental errors. When you're in your defensive half, especially in front of your goal, you never want to clear it back towards your goal unless there's nobody there and you've got someone you can trust. You especially don't try to do like moves. You know, I know Kaysen's more comfortable going off of his right foot than his left, but when he got the ball, he's got to clear that to Osage. So we're starting from the center circle again. Good. Playing it back to your midfield who plays it up to you. Got to get a foot on that, though. All right. So Dempsey, you get this. Find Walker. You've got everyone coming towards you. All right, well, if you could hit Jack, well. Yeah, and that's just him. That's him doing the same thing that Kaysen was doing just on offense now. Having the obvious play at your left foot, but then running to the right side where you're more comfortable. But Dempsey, you shouldn't have dribbled into people. You got to pull it back, you know, and recognize numbers. 1 or 2 people, sure, you can get by them. 3, 4, no. Don't even try. All right, 1 person should drop back. Good. How Dempsey dropped back. Now, you can't let that guy get that. All right, they blew the whistle. But you've got to protect the ball better than that. You know, almost think of it like a box out in basketball. All right, so Jack's got to be careful he's not offsides, but the idea is good. Now, it looks like 10 and the little one recognize him. I'd hit Walker if Walker would just streak upfield. Well, all right, still went for Jack. Felix, you're too far forward. Yeah, you got to... There's no point of you being that close to Jack. Jack can handle his. All right, so again, they're doing a goal kick. We should start... Well, maybe somebody touched it. Should be, yeah, it's a goal kick. So we should be setting up our defense. Felix should be right in front of midfield on the right side. Jack right in front of the midfield circle. I don't even remember. I think Reese was the left midfielder. Again, we're watching too much of people's eyes. In this situation, you don't need to guard a person. On throw-ins, you guard a person. Here, you guard space. All right. So Reese needs a cut. She doesn't need to go towards Walker. And again, you got everyone just going towards Walker, crowding him. All right, hit Walker now. Well, you need to drag back. Somebody's calling my phone. Hopefully it's still recording. And then 10 disposes of Dempsey's weak body onto the ground. That was a good croqueta. And good, flicking it onto Jack. I mean, that was good move to get out of traffic. And a clever shot by Jack to try to get that up. And I think he did that lefty. I'd have to watch again. Could have been righty. But, I mean, that's kind of making something happen there. I think that's the quarter, too. All right, this one, you kind of got things going better. It's still poor discipline. Walker made a couple good runs to kind of get control of this game. All right, so again, note the positioning. Dempsey center, Walker left, Addison right, Zach in the middle. Reese in the same spot she was last time. Again, none of the kids really look like they're too into this game right now. Again, you want to mark up, so you want to guard somebody in these positions. You just have one person guard that clump of 5 there. Look at the size of this kid's shirt. My goodness. Again, everyone's in one vertical line here. I mean, you're not going to have anything good happen there. Now, Walker's streaking, so that's good. Yeah. The second somebody makes spacing, we're going to get a goal here. Yep. That was a brilliant pass by Zach, and it was good of you, Dempsey, not to get a foot on it, to kind of have the wherewithal to say, let me let this go through. I can beat these guys in a foot race. I don't think you knew Walker was behind you, but luckily it went right to Walker. But again, everyone, even Nottoway was just in one vertical channel up the field, that the moment Walker kind of started fading out to the middle, you know, you got a competent person with the ball with Zach, and he found him. All right, so Walker's got to stay on his flank there on the center circle, because they kind of just waltzed right up where he was kind of supposed to be standing. So Addison's got time. She does have a penchant to go straight into people. All right, so there we go. Zach's calling for it. All right. Another handball. Okay, again, purple should be going, setting up upfield. You know, obviously our team got some kind of weird thing going on. Good of Angel to recognize to guard somebody, although I think that tiny girl's not much of a threat. Good of Reese to go guard somebody. And again, that's a situation where Kaysen just needs to control the ball. He doesn't need to try to kick it one time. All right, ooh, you see how Zach's already looking? As soon as he got the ball towards the sideline, he looked over and saw Walker streaking. Finds him again, although I think, yeah, called that out of bounds. And again, too much congestion. Remember, we only want to have 3 people in one horizontal line on the field. And, you know, we've got, 5, depending how you look at it. Yeah, need a little more mustard on the throw. Giant shirt kid going up the sideline. It looks like when a little boy puts on his dad's, office shirt and then slips in his shoes and waltzes around. All right, the play is probably to Zach, and I think, Brianna knows that. Kaysen steps in to take that. And same idea, pretty good. You got to win that, Dempsey. So, yeah, as soon as Kaysen started to kick it, you got to go. You can't wait to see where it is in the sky, and then your hesitation at the end kind of cost you there. I would hit Reese right now. Not a problem with that. If she's got the strength to hit him at midfield, that was good. Zach probably could have handled that a little better. Giant shirt kid with the steal. 3 swings and misses. All right, hit Walker. Good. And just, let him. So each one of his goals in this quarter was just the product of him being in the middle when nobody else was. Walker gets a significantly higher percentage of love than Zach got. I don't think Kaysen got any love either, although they did walk with him. But again, those little things are important. I know you've got the emotional range of a potato, but you've got to be excited when your teammates score. For you, for Walker, not really a big deal. But for these other people, every time they score, Walker, now. First touch way too heavy. See, something about, you get that adrenaline going. You can still hit Walker if you, get a handball. Yeah, as soon as you clear them and Walker streaks, just diagonal it right then. You're going towards your nemesis number 10, which based on these 2 games sample size, and good. You see how Angel came up to guard those 2? She gets this. She gets this part. But yeah, after each one of your teammates score, notice how much more energy and vigor they play after that. How much, more aggressive they are defensively. Just poor decision to head it back towards your own goal. And again, you can do that if you've got somebody there that you trust. A lot of these kids are just kicking it to get rid of it. And then Zach would have been better served taking one or two more dribbles. Probably one more dribble and then getting a better shot, like just a setup dribble. And again, we're all going in this vertical line and they're in a vertical line. I mean, their stuff is just, it's much more egregious because they're on offense. You guys can just use the excuse that you're mirroring them. Now they've got 10 kicking. I think she plays well, but her range is probably right around where Walker is. So, like, all semblance of positioning is like gone. Again, unless you guys switched on the fly. Yeah. See the excitement that Walker showed Brianna there? That was big for Brianna. She's done all the grunt work all year. Nobody really notices defensive players. They don't score goals. So for her to actually get a goal, it was actually a pretty sweet goal too, right over the keeper's head. It was similar to Addison's in the first game, except Addison towed it and Brianna hit it with her, kind of the inside of her foot. That was good for her. You can't see it from the drone, but she had a big smile on her face. Look at that. There's that defensive intensity after you score. Again, great aggression. You got to give it up. See, you just way too late. As soon as you get by that first line, if you got somebody running with you, it's just a simple flick out to give it to them. I mean, he should have just tucked that shirt in. It's like a nightgown at this point. Zach would have been better off dribbling that to open space. Although, again, it's going to his left, which he's not the most comfortable with. That was amazing that he was able to do a spin move out of that being covered by 4 people. Walker he's got to be careful not to get off sides. And it's just something, at this age, it's tough to be aware of that. Again, her range is probably a little bit behind Walker and Dempsey. So probably right where Addison and Zach are. Good. That was decent. You missed it. You probably could have got a little bit more control over that. But you were going for that far post, and when you miss him, it looks bad. When you make him, it looks really good. But again, this was probably your worst game of the season. And not even just ability to score, but just decision making. Like right now, well, it's not entirely on you. You're in a decent spot, but we've got 5 in a line. Well, now we're gonna have 6 in a horizontal line. Yeah, that's a quarter. All right, so this obviously gets me excited. We've got both my boys up front on offense. This is, what do we got? 3rd pass, 4th pass, 5th pass. 6th, 7th, and shot. I mean, why can't we do that every time? I think you had the right personnel up there to do that, but it also people moved. And again, with Dempsey, Dempsey versus Crusher. He gets crushed. But yeah, like what you did there, and you had like kind of most of the really good passers, capable of passing. I don't know what you're all doing right now. Now, Felix, you got to back up. There's no point of you being there. Like, back up to some different space. It's like you're frozen. Now your back's turned. And that was good at Jack to recognize you guys were pretty clueless. They better not get it out of here. Yeah. You got to flick it over to Zach. Ugh. Just too late. Who's our midfield? So I think Zach was center midfield. And that was bad of Osage to run up. I get he's had some success with that this year. But it's so easy to beat a player that's running straight at you. Gotta move. Don't stand there and watch him. There we go. See how Felix passed it? Now you move, Dempsey? Now Kaysen just has a tough time going left. And I think a lot of it, too... Did Dempsey's Crusher get by him? Yeah. A lot of it, too, is he locks out his knees when he stands up. So he's... Oof. Jack should have finished that. Felix could have finished that, too. Wouldn't that be something? Scoring with the big kids. But I think Kaysen, he locks out his... See how he's locking out his knees. So he's pushing them back into full extension. And that limits his ability to explode. He's not in an athletic ready position. And oftentimes sometimes people give him a pass, since he's fully locked out, it takes him a little bit longer to lift a foot up to kind of receive the ball. And that's why he's had a lot of passes this year that just fly under his legs, or even a shot, because he's not ready. I mean, if you look at Jack there, you look at Felix there, both of them their knees are bent, 10, 15 degrees. And it'd be a simple thing to fix. He's actually doing very well against them with the footwork to kind of get by them. Didn't look like it was going to mount to anything, and he made something out of it. There goes Mark, victorious Mark. All right, let's see. Yeah, I mean, hindsight being what it is, if you'd have let that keep rolling, that goes right to a group of Felix, Jack, and Harley. But even still, even getting the ball right in front of the goalie, the only way you mess that up, other than not taking the shot, it was a great run by Harley to get open, but it's kicking it straight into the goalie. You got to have a little bit more awareness than that. See if he can... He does so well when he's on the right side crossing it to people, but nobody ran. Felix, you were just like standing there watching him. If you would have ran in, that'd be an easy tap-in for you. And again, Dempsey, there's no benefit to letting that ball just bounce in front of you. Always get a foot on it. Always get a foot. That way you control it, and the defense can't time it. All right, Dempsey versus Crusher, and he gets crushed. Just every time. Great. I mean, I love that sequence there. That was a great job by Zach recognizing the pressure. He's got his back to the number 10 defender. He turns, slices in the middle directly to Kaysen, who then uses his body to shield the ball, kind of like a post-up move in basketball. And then he flicks it to the right and gets a shot. Now, it didn't go in, but, I mean, the two of them, that looked really good. All right. See, that was the difference there. You see how when Kaysen was being guarded by number 10, she kind of put her forearm into him, and that's not going to affect him. He's too strong for that. Dempsey, that bothers you. It was a pretty weak attempt at the goal. I don't know if there was... Okay, there's the call. So again, haven't commented on it. I think, Felix, you're doing a decent job staying wide here and not getting sucked in. It just helps. You stretch the field. Look at these 4 Nottoway players. Yeah, you guys got to put that in. We got a handball. But these 4 Nottoway, I guess they'd be midfielders. I don't know what they think they're doing on a corner kick. I'm just sitting here talking. Dempsey, you're offsides. Good of Zach not to give it to you, to recognize that's a problem. And it looked like a pass. Could have been a shot. But, you know, again, that's a second one from the same spot. He was able to rifle in low on the ground to Kaysen, where Kaysen's kind of set up. And I don't know if it was, I think it was last game where I commented that Kaysen could be a decent striker if he worked on his back to the goal type stuff. And again, you got to play it back to your teammates too, which helps. You know, if you're playing like a true 9, flick it back to them. I mean, it's amazing you guys haven't scored on these guys because they've got 4 defenders back there. You've got a bunch of your more elite offensive players. And so you had perfect Dempsey, Felix getting open. All right, Dempsey's offsides. Felix is still good. All right, Dempsey, good. It looks like you recognized you were offsides. Their entire defense is on that right side. I don't know what they're doing. Okay. All right. He took the shot, and you can see that little curve on it. And I'm okay with him taking the shot. Good. Perfect directional header. How are we not winning that? Like, this poor girl's by herself playing defense. You know, like I said, it's amazing we did not score this quarter. Look at those 3 midfielders. But again, you know, you guys had that one opening play of the quarter where coach was probably ecstatic. And then, you know, he reverted back to second quarter style of play. Again, you guys are in the same space. Kaysen and Felix running over each other. I think, Felix, you need to be down in this right side. That's how he does against 10. Well, he didn't lose to her. Gets called for a foul, but it's kind of like the old rule in basketball. You foul someone hard once, then they don't come at you again the next time. Although in soccer, that's not really the mentality at all. And again, our whole midfield is guarding the same spot. So again, the other guys, you know, Felix, Kaysen, Harley, Osage, like, you gotta make a run. Zach's working hard out there. Excellent of Jack to clean that up. I mean, it's just bad soccer. He needed a little more lift on that. It would have been nice if this season we would have scored from a corner kick. Not like scored from... Perfect. And again, you know, that was an excellent pass by Zach. And this is a situation, you run over to Zach. You know, you got to say, great pass. You know, I won't mess up next time. Just say something to him because he made a great pass, and what does he have to show for it? He doesn't even get thanked. But yeah, you got to take your time. You did a good trap, but then you rushed it. Giant shirt kid was messing with his shoe. The other interesting thing with Zach is when he was playing, I don't think he gave up a goal the whole season. The only time he was playing and gave up a goal is when you scored on him in practice. So that's pretty good.